within the beehive. And this is something amazing. Honeybees possess skill of learning, memory, ability to share information through symbolic communication, and in a form of absolute abstract language, which, as I told you earlier, we are still not able to decipher it. Deciphering it is continuing. It will happen. First, if you come to one of the most interesting communication, that is through pheromones, and then through mechanical communication, various forms of dance, touch, movement, vibration, which I mentioned earlier. See, the worker bees have got very, very important role to play. They have to go hunt the nectar, find the flowers, never get back home, share information with other foragers, and then also give them an informed idea as to how far the food source is, how we have to travel, what are the threats, the wind speeds. There's so many things which they do. They come back and they're able to communicate. And much of this communication is happening through an intricately choreographed dance, what we call as the waggle dance or the bee dance. So the bee dance is something which we have seen. We assume possibly that is the only thing that is there as a form of communication for food. But as known very lately, there are other forms also which the bees are using for the food sources. This is the modulatory one. The bee enters from one point, goes all through the hives. These small spikes, what you are seeing in the sound wave, are the spikes of the wingspan where vigorous beating is done. So this thing is communicating in a modulatory fashion within the hive. Next is modulatory attractional, where they touch each other. They pass on a sample of the food to each other, and then they are able to tell this is the quantity of nectar available. And then comes the waggle dance, where they can, go and fetch the nectar and back. After this comes the attractional spatial information, where they're able to move in a particular fashion and then bring the bees out of the hive and take them out for foraging the honey. So this is the most interesting part. That is the waggle dance, which is popular. When we say bees, generally people talk of the waggle dance. It is done in the figure 8 pattern, where the figure 8 is the zeros are on both the left and right side, and in the middle it shakes its abdomen. I'll show you a practical thing how they do the waggle dance. But the waggle dance, though it may look extremely simple, but it is communicating some very complex information. For example, when it is moving in the center, I'll show you the actual thing, what is happening, how much the body is shook, how far the food source is, and how far away from the beehive, and what is the direction of the food source in reference to the sun. All of this information are communicated through the waggle dance. And finally, the direction, as I mentioned to you, if it is taking the beehive as a single thing on the top, if it is 45 degrees to the left, it means the sun is on the left. They have to move towards the left side for going and getting the food. The foragers have to know that they have to fly in the direction 45 degrees left of the sun. So the sun is kept as a reference. The beehive is also a reference. And the precise degree with which the beehive turns and does is something amazing. You can see a picture here. There are two dances. The round dance is generally done for food source, which is very close by, just around the hive, maybe in the range of about 0.3 to 0.4 or 300 to 400 meters. But the waggle dance is done for food sources beyond it. So left and right, if you see the figures, these two dances are different. And it is so, beautifully choreographed by the forager bee. When it returns back, we really do not know the way they calculate the distance. They do not have a GPS system, but they're more sharper than it. The way they come back, the flight timing, and the way they're able to about accurately say around this area the food is available, it is something truly amazing. As I was telling you, with reference to the sun, the source of it, the alpha is the degree of the source. With reference to the sun, the bee will fly towards that. That in the center, if you see the waggle, each one represents 1 kilometer. And how exactly the bees do it is still typically a science, because they know it and they are able to communicate it. They do it in a very beautiful way. You'll see in a few more pictures ahead. So this is about how the beehives will, the bees go around for foraging nectar. So with another one here, it is reference to the beehive and the sun, both of it. So if it is direct above the thing, it goes straight away. If it is 45 degree to the sun, it goes 45 degree, flies there, gets the nectar. So this is a typical bee waggle dance inside the hive. You see the center bees is doing the 3 times waggle. The bees around it are completely curious. They are trying to see, and there is one foraging bee which is following it very detailedly, and he will pick up this information, and along with him, the other bees will also follow. This happens post some pheromonal activity too. This is Carl von Frisch, the Nobel laureate, who professor of geology from Munich. 73, he got the Nobel laureate for the waggle dance. It has taken him close to about 45 to 50 years observing the bees, and he finally found out the secret of the waggle dance, and he spent the rest of his life researching on the bees, and the kind of treatise he has written on bees is something amazing for everyone to at least glance through once his work, especially the notes he made so patiently. Each day he would make 3 or 4 pages of notes, which are so intricate with drawings and everything, and he collected all of it and finally presented. He was called totally crazy because nobody believed that the bees had an intricate way of communicating and moving in the colony what they lived. And when he established it, and nothing less than a Nobel Prize was deserving for him, he got it also. And there is another interesting thing called the prophylaxis, which is way of communicating the quantity, quality of food and how it tastes amongst the bees. The foraging bee goes out, brings the nectar, and then he is able to share it, processed, unprocessed, with another bee. Extremely interesting, because the other bee also has to process the quality of the food, and it is done very quickly, maybe less than a minute, minute and a half, when they are able to understand that yes, there is a good source, and then they waggle dance with it, without it. They go out of the hive, collect the nectar, and come back. There's another small movie which I will show you as to how this is done. There's an artificial source of sugar, I mean, just replacing nectar. So the honeybee has come. It's collecting that thing in its belly. You can see the belly behind, just slowly abdomen swelling up. It flies back to the hive now. Entered the hive. They're exchanging it. Just look at the information exchange. So, there is the other bee which has come in. It says, yes, there is some source, good source. And this is another slide of marked bees, where some intensive study is being done within a processed honeybee colony, where each of these have been given a small tiny barcode to understand what kind of work they do, what kind of food they collect, how they exchange information, and this is being done at Nottingham University. You can see the prophylaxis happening here. The foraging bees are so clever. They exactly know with whom to share this information, and he will in turn bring the other foraging bees out of the hive to go and collect. This is already pre-mediated or predetermined as to who will come, who will collect the first sample, come back to the hive and exchange this information. And now we come to the chemical thing, that is the pheromones, which are involved in almost every aspect of the honeybee, from queen mating to swarming to development, reproduction, foraging, defense, orientation, and generally the whole integration of the colony. It happens from the foundation to the decline of the entire bee colony. Now, the pheromone activity, though it's a chemical communication, we have been able to identify about 4 or 5 pheromones. There are far, far, far more sophisticated pheromone activity happening, which the quantity being so small, by the time we collect the sample, it tends to get dispersed. And within the limited knowledge of whatever pheromones are available, we are trying to find and process it. And whatever we have done till now, the kind of pheromones I'll just show you. So the queen bee is releasing one pheromone to attract other drones, and it helps the colony to recognize them, and it also reducing the amount of egg laying of worker bees, keep bees together while swarming or while forming a new colony. Each queen bee has its own unique pheromone only dedicated to that colony, which comes in to see that the whole swarming of the new honeybee or the new honeybee colony activity is done in a systematic way. And this 9-ODA, what I was talking, one of the known pheromones, this attracts drones from the nearby colonies. This happens to see that the genetic pool of the whole bees is increased. There is no inbreeding of the bees, and this is something very unique because a lot of worker bees, other bees also join in along with the bees. So many colonies they come in, and the amount of pheromone spread, nobody is clear. It depends on the wind speed, depends on so many factors, but it still happens to bring in honeybees from close to drones from 300, 400 meters around. They come in. And worker bees, of course, they have got their own 9-ODA and coniferal alcohol, CA, methyl oleate. These are all there around the queen bee, which attracts the worker bees to bring it in. And whenever it requires attention or it needs something to be helped in, it just releases it. The other bees understand it, they go there and they take care of the queen. And worker bees also, as I told you, they produce different kinds of pheromones, which help. First thing, if the colony gets too hot, pheromone is released and all the bees start beating their wings, and they see that the whole colony gets cool. And there is something very interesting called the nasonowing. Nasonowing is, just imagine 6 or 7 apiaries around, maybe in an area of 1 or 2 kilometers. And how do we know which bee has to return to which hive? It's extremely difficult. Therefore, what happens is there's an activity called nasonowing, which is done by the worker bee. It is like a whistle to call all of the honeybees back to the original hive which they belong to. And this is done in a very beautiful and in a coordinated manner where they communicate with the foraging bees, time to come home, and they do it in this fashion. They just release one nasono pheromone, and the scenting or unique behavior is biologically important. It orients the bees, they all come back. I'll show you a small video on this. This is a worker bee, what you're seeing here. It's just raised its abdomen behind, and from the rear side, it releases this pheromone, and it precisely knows the wind direction, which side the bees should approximately be, and then he starts beating his wing. You can see the way the pheromones are being sent into the air. There is one more video. You can see this. The right side, the bee which landed, it puts its one of its legs on the other bee and says, yeah, I have just landed back into the hive safely. So other bees also follow suit. You can see the video again. So this is how these two fellows are communicated, and he says, yes, come in here. It's only through the pheromone activity they come in. And you can see a picture as to how the honeybees are returning back. The queen bees also have another skill of having auditory cues and chemical cues and vibrations. They also emit certain sounds. The existing queen bee, the queen bee which is just born, and a queen bee which has to be born. So you can see here, they have their own method to communicate within the hive, and it's extremely interesting. It's known as piping, tooting, and quacking. Actual thing, the sound has been captured. How they emit this sound, the queen bee, and you can see this, hear this sound. This piping and tooting are almost same. Piping is done by an existing queen, tooting is done which has just come out, and quacking is done by unhatched virgin queens which are inside the wax cells. So the number 64, what you saw here, it's a marked queen for certain studies from the Nottingham Trent University. This study has been done there. So based on this, the clash of 2 or 3 queens can lead to fragmented colonies. So therefore, what happens if it is a beekeeper? He has his own techniques of isolating them. If it is in the natural open area, they have their own methods, where one queen disappears or there is some kind of a mortality happening, but they have own method to see how they sort this issue out. And of course, the honeybees communicate with humans when they keep buzzing very vigorously. If they're angry, they're cool, they're distressed. And honeybee keepers there, I think Amit Godse will explain more about it as to how they communicate with him about the buzzing, the threats, and other things. They also have a method of communicating with humans by stinging them. If you recognize their activity through buzzing, it's okay. Otherwise, if you still want to stay, they sting you, and the female bee dies. And of course, if you go away, it's fine. Otherwise, they will chase you, and once they bite you, they release another pheromone where lots of bees can come and start biting you. But that pheromone is a very strong warning for the other bees. We have a threat. And there is another interesting thing. They visually recognize tremendous amount of thing through eyes, and the eyes are something amazing of a bee. You can see left and right, 2 big eyes and 3 small eyes called oculi on the head on the top. The 2 eyes left and right are compound eyes. They are so powerfully amazing. They're able to see close to 210 degrees of view. And the detection of movement, humans can detect 1/50th second of a movement, but these bees can detect 1/200th of a second. And the top 3 oculi, they are something which can see color, size, shape, ultraviolet rays, and it's something unique. It is like a panoramic cinemascope for them, including the depth, the way, the method, everything. And also the eyes serve another purpose, which I'll show you in the further slide. So this is the complete close-up of the bee eye. You can see the eye, the antennas and everything. And observe the antennas also. This is where the pheromone activity is picked up by olfactory nodes which are there on the antenna. This is very tiny hair on the bee eye. This is something amazing because this helps the bee to see and look, release pheromone, communicate, fly or fleet, or go in a particular way as the wind blows. It serves all these purposes together. As I'm telling here, this allows it to navigate through wind easily, making them expert flyers compared to other birds. And they can also see a lot of wind changes and the best time to take off and best time to even land. And like humans, bees are also trichromatic, but they also see flowers using ultraviolet patterns, and each of the flowers has its own ultraviolet footprint, which will guide the bees directly to the place where the nectar and pollen is. The flower is also very intelligent. When bees get to the nectar, they must see that they are all coated with the pollen what is there. The whole job is that nectar is just an incentive for the bees, but the bees also know exactly where to enter in, and this is how it looks like. The left picture is an actual flower, right one is the thing with ultraviolet patches. So this ultraviolet patch is what the bee sees. It's like a guide, it's like something like a runway for an aircraft. It exactly knows where to enter the flower, how to take this nectar out and go out very swiftly. And this happens in a very beautiful manner. And the three eyes, oceles, which I told, they help to communicate, see the colors, see the ultraviolet, and then enter the bee and out. And the worst thing what we are facing today is disruptions in communication. So many factors: smog, pesticides, cloudy weather, pollution, light pollution, electromagnetic pollution, and noise. These things are disturbing the entire communication activity of bees, and we are chasing them away from us. And if you see all of them, the worst of them is pesticides, light pollution, and electromagnetic pollution. The pesticide, which I told you, is affecting the hydrocarbon profile. They are not able to identify pheromones properly. What is happening in turn is the irritation leading to increased aggression and decreased cooperation within the colony, and colonies are collapsing because of internal kind of riot of the worker bees within the colony, where there is no honey collection or no nectar collection. Suddenly there is some kind of very difficult activity happening. This is all happening because of pesticides. Then we have other stressors, like as I told you, the pesticide itself, and synthetic pheromones now are being seen if we can release them in air to guide the bees to enhance the agricultural practices. Then we have olfactory disruption, again through pesticides only. This is reducing accuracy and frequency of the waggle dance, and thereafter the entire collection method is failing. And as I told you, organophosphates completely ruining the whole way the bees are working, and neonicotinoid also, they are having the same thing. They are affecting the whole neurobiological system of the insects. Noise pollution is something which is disturbing the waggle dance accuracy and foraging efficiency. And noise pollution basically happening in urban areas due to a lot of vehicles, even rural areas, generators, tractors, so many things are disturbing the whole thing. And they have got a very, very sensitive way to manage all these things. And if there is a very shrill horn from 300 hertz to 1 kilohertz and about 110 dB, honeybees will stop moving for 20 minutes as if they've been in a shock. Now the 20-minute is slightly extended, and they actually, to reorient themselves, it takes them quite a little while. So noise pollution is a very critical thing what is happening for honeybees in communication. And electromagnetic field pollution, because of our cell phone signals, is another thing which is completely disrupting, disturbing them. This is one of the biggest thing what is happening is the light pollution of cities, where 24/7 the lights are on in street lights and so many other lights. They are disturbing their sleep, circadian rhythms, and the bees are fatigued in the morning. They're not as efficient in collecting things, and it leads to a circle of this thing and finally the collapse. So these disruptions we must understand very carefully if we want pollination to happen in a systematic fashion. So let's quietly see and work out methods as to we move away or the bees move away. We don't know what is happening, but as equation has to be struck in some time. This is an interesting area which is now taking light, the robo drones or the robo bees as we call it, and these are gradually stepping in. What is happening with this stepping in is the disruptive manner in which large companies are bringing these essentially with research that's happening. Like Walmart is already having some 5-6 patents. IBM has applied for patents, and so many companies now in a race to create tiny bees. And I think the signal for the bee reduction, finally with the bees vanishing in a couple of decades, is already on. So these drones are now in, and unfortunately, fortunately, this was the drone activity which got me in designing certain things, and wherein I studied the bees. And I feel today that whatever science technology is there, the drone should not be there, the robot drones. Anyway, we'll just see how they look. So this is the upcoming era of robo bees, where all robo bees communication and control is going to be via satellite and a computer. The brains are not going to be there. The brains are single. They are going to be centralized. And this is something dangerous. I will explain in the end. Let us see how they look. This was the earliest sample which happened in MIT. The wings, what you can see, all four. The design profile and the thin rib that goes inside is a metal called neonickel. I was responsible, and we were all working on it together to see that instead of motorized movement, there is something called, relax and compression, that the whole bee wing mimics the muscles of the bee. It has happened in a great stride already. You can see the size of the mechanical bee. And this is just a conceptual thing, how it should be looking at. We have not been able to arrive anywhere close to design something which attracts the pollen as much as a natural bee does through any way of artificiality, because the whole process of pollen attraction to a bee is a complex science by itself. This is how the mechanical bees will look of the future, and the way they will be powered. IC engines are very tiny. They will work off 2 drops of ethanol or some fuel, that they can fly around for about 20 to 30 minutes. And God knows what exactly is going to be done with just pollination, because nectar remaining within the flower again is going to convert, ferment, and then it has got its own obvious reactions for other foragers like wasps, etc., to take it. So these are the drone bees. You can see the left and right one, almost on the lab scale, on 2x, 3x now. We're trying to reduce to 1/3 the size. Yeah, this is how the whole drone bee looks like. So this is what I meant to say, that the upcoming era of robot bees, where all the robot bee communication is via satellite and computer, is going to be predatory, disruptive, and extremely dangerous, because one particular hacker can guide the bees not to pollinate, or to pollinate the wrong substance. So you can just imagine they are going to be the viruses which are flying in the sky. So we either come up with our own kind of drones and drone bees, or we never allow this to happen within our country by keeping our bee colonies intact. So this is one of the biggest things. What is happening in computing is what they have learned from honeybees, the honeybee algorithm. You can just see it, allocation of servicing to foraging bees, to nectar sources, to jobs. Everything the computers are now learning from honeybees and bringing it to the highly sophisticated cloud computing design. Carl von Frisch put this statement excellently. The ant is collectively intelligent and individually stupid. So are the honeybees. Man is exactly opposite. We are collectively stupid, individually very intelligent. So we better change, because the nature is not going to change for us. We must change for nature. So this is something which I believe in, because I do observe a lot of things very patiently, and there is so much of wondrous things that are happening around us. It's beautiful. I thank ATPBR again for giving me this opportunity to share my information, interacting with all of you. Thank you very much. And my humble salutes to the most amazing insect, the honeybee. I've never seen any other insect which is as contributory to the humans as much as this honeybee. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much for very interesting and very, something that we overlook as common citizens who are not into entomology or so. But, as Albert
Sir.
Einstein is supposed to have said, that if there are no honeybees in the world, human existence will be over in 4 days. They are very important
Yes.
pollinators. They keep our crops alive. They keep our diversity of crops around us alive. So thank you very much.
Yes.
And I think I'll open it to questions. We have Dr. Mohan Kumar Mangalam raising a hand. And Mohan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tiku. Hirematji, this is
Please,
one of the best lectures I have listened to on honeybees. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
My only question is,
Please,
on the
sir.
lines of improvement of crops, are there efforts to improve the genetics of honeybee, or we leave it to the nature?
It is best left to nature, sir, because they have evolved, I think, across so many centuries. We should not meddle with them. They have their own internal algorithms for breeding. So we best leave it alone.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, what I thought was, with the modern tools in molecular biology, is it possible to impart some kind of resistance or tolerance to the various virus diseases which are causing the colony collapse and other things?
Sir, it is a completely organic process. I always say the colony collapse should be allowed to happen unless there is something seriously wrong with our intervention.
Mm-hmm.
If it's happening naturally, they come back, the whole bee, whatever remain, they come back extremely strong, genetically strong. So it's a natural process. We should not interfere in the colony collapse at all unless we have a reason for the collapse.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I would like to add that nature for every species provides their own methods of survival, and the survival is by intermating, and they keep on generating new forms. Since they have the numbers, so probably it will happen more quickly than in plants or in human beings. So that's probably how it creates the balance they need in their ecosystem. But we have entomologists here, Dr. Gujar. If somebody wants to say how is there speed breeding possible in bees, I do not know. But can you please hide your, sorry, you can exit the screen, Rajshekhar-ji, you can exit the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If Dr. Gujar, do you want to say anything? Otherwise, yes, please.
Thank you very much. Dr. Rajshekhar has given a very good seminar. And in continuation with the question that is asked by my friend, Dr. Mohan, in fact, I was also thinking like just in case of crop improvement, we carry out we develop the new varieties or hybrids. Can't we go in for such a genetic methods to improve the stock of honeybees also? This is one question. Another question that comes to my mind.
Gujar, we want to see you. We want to see you also.
Okay. All right. Hello. This is the question in continuation with what Dr. Mohan said. And like improving the genetics of honeybees is one important thing. There are a lot of differences in the honey yield that we get in India or in comparison to the other countries in the world. Second point which I want to ask is that there are differences in, there are different species of honeybees, and is there possibility that the communication differs between species? And what about the communication that is occurring in stingless bees, which are essentially a small group of individuals occurring in a colony? That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Rajshekhar ji, any response to the
Yes,
second
yes.
question? Otherwise, we have Ravi ji, Ravi Chandran is also
My
raising
second
a hand.
question was related to the communication in the stingless bee and communication between species of the bees.
Dr. Goin, sir, the stingless bee colonies are a bit rare. I mean,
Yeah.
the work that has to be done among them has really not been concentrated on. This is generally the two species which I've been talking about. So I feel that it is a bit, I mean, I really do not know whether the demand needs it or the supply needs it. The study has been done on the more popular bees. Okay.
I think we
And
have
my
Amit
association
Ghose.
with bees, as I told you, as an engineer, because
Yeah.
I had to design the artificial drone wings, and because of the wings, I had to study the bees very closely, and that's where I stumbled upon this the communication methods. And I'm still amazed. I'm still have to learn a lot of things. Other things are little not open yet to me, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have Amit Godse, who has a lot of experience working on stingless bees. We'll wait for his, talk.
Yes,
And
yes,
Ravi ji,
yes.
Ravi ji, you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Say, as a farmer, I have a question.
Yes, please.
See, in our farm front, climate change is playing a very important role. It adversely impact our crop performance. Would this climate change, would this anyway affect the behavior of the bees? This is the one question I wanted to ask.
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Climate change is playing havoc with the bees.
Okay.
It's playing havoc because the entire movement of bees and collection of honey, everything is getting disturbed because there is such a amount of sunlight change, the magnetic change. So many changes have come in, and along with other disruptions, the bees also are getting disrupted, terribly disrupted.
So that may also be the reason for lesser pollination during these, when there is unpredictable weather, and finally affecting the yield probably. So I think
Yes,
we
sir.
will leave it at that.
Sir.
Prabhakara S, you have some question to ask, or we need to go to the next. Here's a question by Prabhakar S. You have mentioned many challenges to existence of honey. Yes, please. You're speaking.
Yes, basically, sir has mentioned it was a very good presentation because though we know a little bit about how to rear the honeybees and all these things, I think this presentation gave a very different perspective. And what I found is there are a lot of challenges for existence of honeybees and their activities. How can we take some measures to overcome these challenges? Any suggestions, or whether anything has been done in the field?
Dr. Prabhakaran, if you take the country of Korea, for example, they have certain parts of a building, whatever building envelope they make, left for bees and birds. Where the humans can't interfere, they can very comfortably be there. There is no light pollution, there are no wind gusts, there is no big heat, and the bees feel extremely protective and protected. And in the urban areas, which we are now slowly inching towards all the rural areas where we grow food, if you want to reduce this kind of disruptions, we need to provide them some very safe nesting and hiving places. This is the only way to do it. Otherwise, it's very difficult for us to stop the kind of disruption that's happening.
Okay, I think there are a few more people, because I think I would move on to Amit Godse, and then please hold on your questions. If we have another 10 minutes at the end, I will request people to wait for that. So now let me introduce you to the next speaker, Amit Godse. He's a mechanical engineer by education and a former software engineer at Capgemini. Today, he is widely known as the Bee Man of India, a full-time honeybee conservationist and ecopreneur based in Pune, Maharashtra, working across India to promote pollinator protection and environmental sustainability. He is the founder of Bee Basket Enterprises, pioneering social enterprise, and that creates bee parks and butterfly gardens, supports corporate, environmental, social, and governance initiatives, and specializes in ethical rescue and relocation of honeybees from urban and semi-urban areas. Under his leadership, Bee Basket has rescued and relocated more than 17,000 honeybees hives in Pune and Mumbai. His impactful work reached national prominence, and recently we heard our Prime Minister Modi ji appreciating his efforts in his Mann Ki Baat on 25th May 25. He highlighted the importance of bee conservation. In response to this national recognition, Amit has launched a statewide movement called Bee Friends, aimed at mobilizing citizens and housing societies, schools and institutions to protect bees and prevent their mass destruction. His mission is to create a bee-friendly culture through education, rescue initiatives, etc. There's a long list of things that he has been doing, and he's being supported now by Pusha Krishi, ICR, Ministry of Agriculture and Farm Welfare, and his IIM Calcutta, National Institute of Design, and Atal Incubation Center and Niti Aayog. Through his tireless work, Amit is building a future where bees are not feared but befriended, and where pollinators thrive alongside people in harmony. If all bees, as I said, if all bees are exterminated, we may not have human existence in even 4 days. It's a common quote quoted by Albert Einstein. Not confirmed, but that's what it is. Amit, over to you. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you so much for introducing me to the esteemed people over here. And Hiremat sir told about the robo bees. So what I feel, robo bee won't be a solution for the actual bees, because bees are working for free for you, okay, without any ifs and buts. And apart from that, they're giving you honey also, okay, which robo bees won't give. Third part is that for one robo bee, it costs heftily to make a small robo bee, which in fact, by breeding the queen, we can make 100 of worker bees within a fraction of 16 to 20 days, which robo bees we can't do, right? So, so what I feel, only the real bees is the answer for the pollination, not the robo bees. And let's go to my presentation. Hope you're able to see my screen.
I'm not able to see yet, but yeah, something is happening. Have you shared? Not yet.
I have shared.
No, I can only see you. I have not shared your. Share your
Wait.
screen. Share your
Yeah.
screen. That arrow in the center.
Now? Yes.
Can you help? No, on the click on that share button. No, have you clicked?
Yeah, I've already done that. Yes, yes, I've already done.
Yeah. Then on that, you click on the entire screen. Click on the entire screen button. Do you see that? Had you
Yes.
done the on the arrow? Did you on the
Yeah.
arrow
Yeah.
share the screen? Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Great.
Try and finish it in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
If you can. Yeah. Thank you.
surely, sir. I will finish as soon as. More than 100 agricultural crops are fully dependent on honeybees. More than 70% crops are fully dependent on honeybees, and up to 75% of crop pollination in this world is done honeybees alone, due to their ability and the crop quality during that particular timing. And you can see the data like insect pollination contributes
Are you moving,
crores.
moving the slides? Are you moving the slides or not yet?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. You can see the data like in agri GDP, 8.72% of agri GDP is fully dependent on insect pollination. Then the crop pollinator value is around 4,22,828 crore rupees in Indian market. It's an agri output due to pollinated by cross pollination by bees. This is the Indian data.
Mhm.
We have done some research inside a polyhouse as well. We have put stingless bees inside a polyhouse. Only stingless bees work inside a polyhouse. No, not. So this research we done in Shikrapur. As you can see, the cucumber is growing over there, and the farmers was not getting inside this polyhouse because
Amit, we are only
pollination
seeing
program-
your first. Amit, we are only seeing your first slide. I just want to let you know. We are not seeing your
no,
slides.
no, wait.
You,
Now,
we are not seeing your slides. I am seeing you. आप वो स्क्रीन शेयर करिए ना नीचे, ये जो एरो है नीचे उसके ऊपर क्लिक करिए, क्लिक करिए उसके ऊपर. आपने रिहर्स किया था इसके बारे में? नहीं किया था.
yes, किया था.
हाँ, now we can see.
किया था सर.
Now we see the slide.
Now,
Yeah, so
now you can see the
now
slide.
you show
Okay.
me.
Are you able to see the
Yeah. Yeah, with bees,
Yeah.
without bees.
So
Okay.
with bees and without bees. So
Yeah,
this
cucumber,
is done.
yeah.
Now we have the experiment on cucumber inside a polyhouse. So you can see like the farmers was not getting any yield in cucumber. Flowers were falling. So we put stingless bees inside a polyhouse. We put 3 stingless bee boxes inside a polyhouse. So within 3 days, we got the result of cucumber. Within the place we got this result, and this is the cucumber of around 7 to 8 days.
Uh-huh.
You can see the work how bees want to work inside a polyhouse. Only stingless bees work inside a polyhouse. We have also done some research with Tiku sir for mustard in his farmhouse in this research center, and you can see the mustard, how the mustard grown over there. So
We cannot see. We cannot see.
by around.
You're not moving the slide. Where
No,
is
no,
the
I'm moving
mustard
this.
picture?
Yeah.
Now there is
something-
no slide there. Now there is no
Now?
slide. No, there is no slide.
Wait, sir. I will check. Wait a moment.
While flicking on slide show, it is exiting. The slide.
Okay.
You have to arrow down on the slides.
Okay.
In the meantime, while you are doing that, Dr. Sandikar had a question. Bumblebee and honeybee, what is the difference? The bumblebees are used in the polyhouse in Netherlands and other places.
Yeah. I'm talking about Indian scenario, sir. You won't get bumblebees in India.
No, he's asking what is the difference? Are they also like honeybees or what is the difference?
No,
Do you know?
bumblebees are not honeybees.
Okay.
Honeybees are different.
Yeah.
Bumblebees are totally different species.
But I see them once in a while in the field, but not in the numbers that we may need.
You call them bhaura. Here in India, you get bhaura, but
Yeah.
not a bumblebee.
That's-
Bumblebees and bhaura
so-
both are different.
Oh, okay. That looks very similar to a bumblebee.
Yeah. They look similar, but both are different species.
Dr. Tomar, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Nice
Thank
to see you. Nice to see you.
I'm enjoying. I want
you-
to add that bumblebee and honeybee are two different species.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
Bumblebees are smaller in size. That
Yes.
mostly temperate in nature. It
Ah,
works very well in temperate conditions. We have seen practically in Leh Ladakh region that
ah,
it is ancient bee, but rearing bee for subtropical and tropical condition is a very challenging task because of the adaptation. They are
Uh-huh.
better to a temperate condition.
Good, that should answer. Good, no, it also helps. Dr. Sandikar wanted to know that, so very good. Because they are commonly used in Netherlands, heavy polyhouses, they use that on a large scale.
These are in European countries.
Your slides are not coming, Amit. What is happening? आपने rehearse किया था इसको?
हाँ, yes, किया था. Are you able to see the screen?
No, we are able to see you, not the screen. उसको click करिए.
No, wait. No, wait a minute, please.
Do you have a good connection? Because your voice also breaks down. Or is it my connection? I don't know. But I was able to hear Dr. Tomar very well and others.
Once, Amit, we could see your slide, but you can see instead of slideshow mode, you can go in a simple slide manner. Because sometimes Google do not support the bigger size of PPT.
हाँ, हो सकता है. That's possible. We have faced that. Yeah, Dr. Gujar, that supports what Dr. Tomar said. Temperate regions में they work better. So you are right. हाँ भाई, क्या हुआ? Here. What is happening? Yeah, audio. Amit, क्या हो गया? He is left. You lost the speaker.
It seems like he's joining,
But I can-
rejoining.
Yeah. थोड़ा I think network का problem है because his frame is freezing also. Amit, where are you? For the audience, Amit was identified by the IARI center where they support the innovations, and that is how he got support from there, and then others have followed. I have had a good experience with Amit on our mustard. We had almost about 15 to 20% more seed yield in a field where we had stingless bees as well as the normal population, while as in another field where we did not release the stingless bees, the seed yield was lesser. Yeah, thanks, Dr. Gujar.
Yeah.
Amit, where are you? Aparna, are you in touch with him?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dr. Sandikar, I think that's a good question to ask. At the end, I request everybody's patience. Technology glitch took away to 242 plus other lives recently. So that's the tragedy of life. But I hope he's able to overcome the problem and comes on screen very soon.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Sharad, in the meantime, till he is on, let us continue the conversation. Yeah.
Sir,
Dr.
as,
Sandikar had a question. Yeah.
should I continue?
Please.
Sir, as farm technologist and farm scientist, say with 4 decades of experience of mine and 5.5 decades of experience yours, we never looked at honeybee as a partner in our crop improvement process.
You know, exactly my thought when this GMS of okra was, initially by IHR and later others have also talked about it. Now some people are even talking of CGMS, but there has been no real-time work done on how to make honeybees help us in improving the seeds of a GMS based hybrid, right?
Yeah.
I haven't, we have Dr. Gujar here, we have maybe other entomologists, they can reply it better. I have not seen a systematic experiment laid out on how honeybees can help increase that process. Though they know that bees are doing the job for the sterile based programs. But is there a systemic experimentation? I don't know.
We
Dr.
took them
Gujar,
for granted, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're taken for granted.
Dr. Tikku, I want to share my experience in IRI.
sir.
In
Yeah.
Petergold, we have attempted the stingless bee.
Yes.
And though we could get a small population, 2 colonies only, and their nature of migration, how far they can migrate from their hive, it is a very small area.
Yeah.
Around 1 meter to 2 meter maximum, it could fly within the polyhouse, and it has set the fruit very well.
Okay.
If we go more systematic experimentation that as per the area and as per the flight area of the stingless bee, then we can make it more efficient, the crossing program for hybrid seed production, especially the gynaeceous line and based F1 hybrids.
Yeah, actually, I remember Amit at Okra conference also released stingless bees in the okra field, but it was just to see whether I don't know whether there was any data collected by Dr. Yadav. But this is an area, as Sharad also said, we need to work systematically on it, by collecting data, which can then be transferred to the breeders, to the farmers, etc. It's an area that needs more work. Aparna, any success?
So he said he's joining, so I have to wait.
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
Can
he
you-
said, yeah, I called him. He said I'm joining, but immediately I'm joining. So I'll check again.
उसको उसको प्रॉब्लम है मुझे लगता है.
But Dr. Tikku,
Yes,
to
sir.
your question of seed production in GMS,
Uh-huh.
will it not help if we keep some hives in the field? I mean, will they not do the job, or there are specific bees for specific flowers?
No. The same bees. What I'm saying is a systematic study on how many hives per acre, what is the consequence of, how much percentage of yield gets increased. That kind of work, I don't see, that has not been happening. I think Amit is back. Amit, can you share your screen? Or you want to talk without the screen?
No, I can talk with the screen. Now, are you able to see? the screen?
Yes, now we can see.
Yeah.
Oh, there I see myself. Okay.
Yeah, you can see the Tikku sir there. And
Yeah.
we have done some experiment on mustard with the help of Tikku sir. And we got very wonderful result over there. And
Yeah.
this result we got just with the help of 5 bee boxes of stingless bees in the premises.
Yeah, how many did you put in that area? Do you remember? How many hives?
5 bee, five
Yeah.
bee boxes.
Five,
Five bee
yeah.
boxes.
Yeah.
5 bee
Yeah.
boxes in I think 1.5 acres, right, sir?
Yeah.
1.5
Yeah.
acres. Yes.
Yeah, we saw visible differences, but we know we need multiple replicated data to make sure, and then, yeah. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah. So in India, we get around 4 indigenous species. One is the garden bees. You can see the palm-sized hive. Then second one is the rock bees, which make the hive on tall rising building in cities. The second is the Indian box bee. They make the hive in darkness, and they make parallel 7 to 8 hives. And fourth is the stingless bees. They are very tiny bees. And every species has specific affinity to the flowers. Like what nature has done, smaller bees, just like stingless bees, they visit only the smaller flowers and the bigger flower as well, but within the range of 300 meters foraging range. Okay, they don't go beyond 500 meters, but they only visit the smaller and bigger flowers in that area.
Yeah.
Then garden bees, foraging range is around 1 kilometer only. If you keep the hive as a center, so they roam around 1 kilometer radius, and they go to smaller and mid-sized flowers. Then Indian box bees, their foraging range is around 2 kilometers. The rock bees, the foraging range is 5 kilometers, but they only visit bigger flowers. If you talk about the mangoes, in mangoes, stingless bees and garden bees work, but no other species work on mangoes. So there are different where only different species work.
Okay, that answers the question of Dr. Mohan. And somebody asked me whether there should be specific bees for specific crops. So that's another study. How much study has been done on that? Okay.
And it is not like that. Like if you keep any bee boxes in the farm and bees will do pollination services to each and every crop. We need to divide the crop according to species also of bees. Okay. Then you can see the bees, how the bees make the hive in seeds.
Yes. But is there a video or we lost you again?
Sir, he is having connection issue.
Yeah, there is a connection problem. He is also muted himself.
Yeah.
Amit, can you hear me? Amit, can you hear me? Just now, as it gets interesting, we have a problem.
So if Dr. Aparna has the slides with her, she can show it us.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't shared. He hasn't shared. I told him to share the presentation, but
You don't
we
have
haven't received. No, we haven't received.
Dr. Tikku, let him speak
Yeah.
rather than depend. Let him speak only.
Amit, can
That
you
will be
just
much
speak?
better.
Amit, are you there? You can just speak. I don't know. Is he in his farm or where is he?
It seems to have left.
No, because he will want to rejoin. Aparna, you can probably talk to him and
So he's getting panicked. So I better not to. I
Okay.
already called him twice.
okay.
No. I mean, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Amit, we can hear you.
You can talk without the slides maybe, or
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, let him talk.
you can talk, or you can not use your video and only do the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see you now.
You can
Where-
see the screen.
Yeah, you can close your video.
Okay, I will. Yeah, I know.
Usko,
Okay. Now this Indian box bee, they made the hive inside, the compost box.
yes.
A bee hive in a hollow shell in the building, in the office.
Yeah.
Then bees made the hive inside a bird house. People keep bird houses for the birds, but many times bees captured these bird houses as well in cities.
Yeah.
You can see the video how
Yes.
bees captured the bird houses.
Yeah.
Bees, you can see bees has captured the hole which you can see the hole where the wires are coming in and coming out. So bees made the hive inside that hole as well. Okay, so these are the typical cases we face in cities. Bees made the hive inside a POP as well. Many times people make the POP. So bees made the hive inside a POP as well. You can see how bees made the hive. So this case was in Mumbai. Bees made the hive inside a toilet as well. So this photo we captured during the COVID time. And we captured this and put them inside a box. So this is how we do the relocation services. Bees made the hive inside a cooler. These are the garden bees.
कूलर है और इसके अंदर यहाँ पे जिसमें फैन की आर्म पे लगा हुआ है, इसको एक को यहाँ से भी
And these made the hive on a tree as well. We relocated them on a tree which has a cliff, palm cliff. So a colony, Epistoria colony, and we relocated at my flat. And I didn't have anything to put the hive, so I put it on a stand. After 1.5 months, I harvested honey and put it just like that. So this is how we relocated and harvested honey multiple times from the single hive. These made the hive inside. You can see an electric board. We relocated these bees, stingless bees colony, inside a box, and we breeded these colonies as well. So we run a program like pest to pet for these bees, which are unwanted guests at your premises. Okay, but for others they may be a pet. So it's a pest to pest program we run in Pune. You can see the Apis dorsata colony. We harvested honey from the hive, keeping the hive intact. So this way we can harvest multiple times honey from the dorsata bees. And now I want to into why bees are not in cities, in the farmland, even in the forest. In cities, in various states, bees.
Please, please mute your phone. Manoj Kumar, आप अपना mute करिए. Yes, continue.
Yeah. So you can see how bees are getting killed by pest control.
We can't see the slides. You can talk about. We can't see the slides.
Okay.
Problem is, I think you are in a place where there is a very poor network.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are. Are you in your farm or?
Yeah. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see in cities how bees are getting killed by pest control. Within a fraction of second, millions of bees that are getting killed by pest control. Okay, this is rampant across urban centers. Then you can see how farmers are not finding bees in their farm. You can see it's a report which came in Indian Express, and onion seed growers are not finding bees in their farm. You can see the third scenario. So this picture we got from Brahmanagar in Gadchiroli. 2 years ago, the same tree was full of bees. Now, within 2 years, you can see the lesser bees on the same tree. Why this is happening? I got while working on bees, I got to know the result. You will find more number of bees in cities as compared to farm, even in the forest land. Yes, you will be shocked to know the result behind the same. Why bees are moving toward the cities? Because cities has floral diversity. Because no one put pesticide in their flowers. And many people are growing different flowers in their terrace garden, in their gallery. Different trees are there in the parks, and no one is putting pesticide over there. And throughout the year, bees are getting water, because people are putting water for birds, they're watering the plants, so bees get the water as well for throughout the year. And for dorsata bees, they get the height to make the hive. So bees make the hive in tall rising building like 8 floors, 10 floors, 15 floors, because they get the height. So all the positive things are coming to cities due to food and the height. And so bees are migrating in large number to cities. And in the farmland, what is happening? Monoculture is there, and farmers are putting lots of pesticide and insecticide on the farm. So bees are not getting proper food over there throughout the year. Now, why bees are dying? One is the pesticide, which I told, and insecticide. Third is the monoculture. Bees get food only for 2 to 3 months in the farm, but rest to 7 to 8 to 9 months, they don't get food in the same farm. So bees are migrating to the different places. Shrinking forest cover. Even the forest due to
Urbanization. Urbanization.
urbanization, sticking forest cover. Then climate change, which we already talked about the habitat loss.
Yeah, yeah.
Then pest control companies, pest control companies are killing bees by pest control within a fraction of seconds. There's a lack of awareness about honeybees. People know only two things about honeybees. One is the bee sting, another they give honey for us. So that is why bees are dying in good numbers, and we need to reverse that. If you want to do beekeeping and help bees to grow, so what you can do, you can promote beekeeping, and you can promote bee parks over there. Second is planting bee-friendly flora in your premises. Third is not killing bees by pest control. By calling pest control company, you can call bee friends, and they can rescue the bees and they can relocate them as well. You can create awareness about honeybees to different people. Bees are not your enemies; they are your friends. Because 1/3 of your food chain comes with the help of bees only. We have created this bee park in a corporate company. We have in a Volkswagen. So we have put stingray bees over there because they don't want bees to sting other people. So we have put stingray bees over there and planted bee-friendly flora. So this way, we are promoting company premises as a biodiversity center. We also create a butterfly park over there. So this way, and no one is putting pesticide over there. So this way, urban center and the company premises can become center for bees as well. So even though PM Modi has praised our work for the conservation of honeybees, and we have been awarded by many people. We have took awareness session in different places, even with the forest department also we took the awareness session. We have trained tribals also how they can capture wild stingless colony, and they can breed these bees, and they can give these stingless bees colony for the pollination purpose. Then we have also rescued honeybees at our at that time the MSME minister, Shri Gadkari sir, had also invited us to rescue the bees. And then due to our work, we have also awarded by Shri Prakash Javadekar sir. He was an environmental minister during that time. Thank you so much for listening to me, and sorry for the disruption due to network issue. And you can contact us through our email and our number as well. If you have any question, you can ask.
Yeah, thank you, Amit. I think you're doing a great service in an area where not many people are there. I have a question. I'm sure a few more will have a few questions. One question was that I have seen in some countries like in Turkey, in Egypt, in the breakfast time, they keep not only the honey, but also the honey with hives. So are they kind of destroying the honey and then keep those hives? Because they're very tasty.
Yes.
So how do they then protect the beehives? Or is it the end of the cycle?
Yeah, so those are known as comb honey. So what honeybees do, 1/3 part they store honey and 2/3 part is the eggs and larvae. So the honey boxes are as such. So one is a brood chamber, and above brood chamber there is a honey chamber. So we harvest honey only from the honey chamber, not from the brood chamber. Okay. So to get the comb honey, you just need to get that comb honey from the honey chamber, and present it just like a comb honey. And bees again repair that frame and make the comb honey. So during that process, we are not killing the bees, and bees are producing more honey. So if bees required 100 kgs of honey, so they produce 3 times more honey inside the box. So the 2/3 honey we harvest and keeping 1/3 honey for the bees, for their survival and for their growth.
Okay. Thank you, because I have seen that. I just feel quite tasty along with those combs. So quite tasty, but I have not seen that in India. I think Before I conclude, we have some questions. Raviji.
Yes, sir. See, I'm just very curious to know about the cross pollination in polyhouses. See, polyhouses is pretty small, and if we rear the bees in that small polyhouse, so would the food be enough to sustain themselves? That is one question. And what is the kind of what is the species of bee that has to be reared in that polyhouse? And the second question is, say I'm a farmer. Many farmers here, they are very much interested in nurturing honeybees and having hives. So where do we get the training for such practices?
Okay. So the species which we put inside a polyhouse is a stingless bees, very tiny bees. The size is around 1.5 to 2 mm. Okay. Their foraging range is also very small. But you should not keep stingless bees throughout the year, only inside a polyhouse. So during the flowering season, you can keep the stingless bees inside a polyhouse for 1.5 or 2.5 months. After your pollination happens, you can take those bees outside the polyhouses, because feeding only one crop throughout the year is not advisable. Bees also require diversity in the food as well. Okay, not only one food. Okay, so only stingless bees work inside a polyhouse in India. Okay, and you can keep, and regarding the training part, you can get trained from KVIB in different states. You can contact them. But the major problem is that this KVIB and other government institutes, they only want to promote because their focus is only on the honey production, not on the pollination part. So they promote majorly bigger bees like Indian box bee, Apis mellifera bees, right? Because stingless bee only give you around 200 to 250 grams of honey in a year from one box. Okay, although the medicinal property of that honey is toward a higher side. 1 kg of honey costs around 3,000 rupees. Okay, but their major focus is only on the bigger bees.
So how do they train themselves then?
So we can train them, and if you happen to be in Pune and all, or you can create a group of farmers over there, we can train you. And in fact, the handling of stingless bee is very easy. You need to take care of, open the box only 3 to 4 times in an year. But for other bee species, you need to open the box for around within 15 days, 20 days. Okay, but for stingless bees, only 3 to 4 times is enough to open the box.
So I think the answer to Raviji's question is that get some 20, 30 or 40 farmers together around your farm, and Amit will visit you. Correct? So
Yes,
organize
sure,
his visit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that will help.
We are prepared to host him, sir.
Important. Yeah. Sorry?
We are prepared to host him.
Yeah,
Mr.
great,
Amit
great,
to
great.
give training.
So I think you have on our ATPVR, you have his phone number and all, or Aparna can share with you. So you can contact him, please.
Yeah, I
Please
will get it offline, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sandikar.
Yeah, I think, I just a couple of insights actually I just wanted to share actually.
Yeah, please.
In India, there must be actually a lot of studies happening on honeybees and all that. But what I see is actually the application of, honeybees, especially into agriculture, actually is missing. Why I say this actually is because there are no strategies, defined strategies, what I see. I mean, which honeybees actually has to be used and how it has to be used. The science is only restricted to how many boxes per acre kind of thing. It has not gone beyond that. It has never gone beyond that actually. Now this presentation of Amit has actually given a sight that what he said is actually the honeybees which are feeding on mangoes are different than honeybees feeding on different crops. That gives me a sort of big question actually is, I mean, why this kind of actually, species studies has never been actually, released, or there is nobody actually talking about what species to be used in what crops actually in agriculture.
Yeah.
This is a very big question. The reason why I am saying this is actually what Amit said, actually showed the newspaper cutting, which is about, talking about yield reduction in onion actually. And this is a fact of life. This year, especially this year, actually, there is almost 40% reduction in onion seed yield, and this I'm talking in Maharashtra actually. But when the question comes actually, why the honeybees are not there? And if you ask me this, actually, I was also startled with this fact that this time the yields of mango is very high, So the question is, where were the bees then? Because the onion flowering time and the mango flowering time it coincides actually, kind of thing. Then why mango bees are not pollinating onion bees? So there are many questions like that, and probably, what lacks is, a applied science which is given to the farmer or to the agriculturist, rather than giving only a sort of, I would say, how to collect honey and, harvest honey and those kind of things actually, So I feel, looking at the presentation of Mr. Rajshekhar as well as Mr. Amit, I think we need to really collectively come together and really see actually whether we can develop some sort of strategy and collect those knowledge and develop a strategy for bringing this knowledge to the farming community.
Thank you. I think we have Dr. Tomar here. He should take this as a message back.
Sir,
आप कुछ बोलना चाहें तो please do.
Sir, I would like to respond to some of the
Dr. Sandeep and Dr. Gujaya.
Vendra, that there is a competitive crops. As he has mentioned, mango and onion flowering coincide together. Then preference of the bees goes to those flowers which are having nectaries. So if we compare onion and mango, so preference of the honeybees will be mango. That we have observed. If we have a competitive crop like turnip, radish, palak, onion, and the carrot, we have seen the visiting frequency of the honeybees are different because of their preference for nectaries and the quality of pollen, quantity of pollen, and available anthesis time of the flower, because bee works with a scheduled time. They prefer to visit from early morning to 11 o'clock, as I am in Delhi, and in afternoon after 3 or 4 o'clock. And by 5:30, they wind up their business and went back to the hives.
Yeah.
So there. And secondly, I have an experience of 20 years back, if I recall, the population of honeybee in onion was very abundant. But now, after 20 years in IRI, it's in my experience, because I'm raising onion seed crop every year in my different locations, and I could find that the frequency and population of honeybee had drastically reduced, and that corresponds to the reduction in the seed yield and the seed quality also. So we have this observation at IRA. This is my personal observation, which I have not published, but it's my experience to work with the food production program at IRI. Thank you.
Thank you. Practical observation. Very good. Dr. Sandikar, quickly.
Thanks, Dr. Tomar. Actually, what is very important is, the mango flowers actually in Maharashtra somewhere around December, January. Okay. And simultaneously onion is planted actually, and the umbels start coming in from January till March end or April. So what happens is, after the mango setting is there, I mean, where the honeybees have gone? I mean, this is a big question which has really been in there. So I think there are a lot of answers to be really, given or studied kind of a thing. I think you have an immense experience kind of thing. This knowledge actually needs to be really brought up, and it has to be disseminated to the growers. I think this is a big science which needs to be appropriately communicated to the grower. Thank you very much.
Totally agreed. Thank you. Aparna, you want to say something quickly? Or?
Yeah, so just before you close the session, I have a request from Tomar sir to let me know, or just to, to let everybody know
is there any systematic study, conducted by the ICR on seeing the behavior of bees across the crop, on the crop improvement status, on breeding, or any other aspect related to crop improvement and bees? Tomar sir.
Dr. Aparna, we have conducted a study in carrot and onion both. And we could find Dr. S.N. Sina was an entomologist head at IRA Regional Station Karnal. He has planned, he was working on honeybee pollinate foraging behavior through his student, and it's my opportunity to be associated with that program. And later on, we have also conducted in other crops in seed production unit while I was working there. So we could find the foraging behavior of the bees and preference of the bees and how much time it to the individual flower. And once the flower is visited by the bee, that another bee will not visit because they have a feeling that efforts will be waste if already flower is warmed by for pollen or nectaries. So that is very sensible animal. And we have published paper also in foraging behavior of honeybee. Dr. Yadav, though he's retired now, he did in PhD in sunflower. That was first study of honeybee pollination behavior. Then carrot we have done, and onion we have done, and we have published paper on that. And such study.
Thank you. Thank you. I think, Dr. Gujar. Okay, last one.
Yeah, yes. I wish to add that All India Coordinated Research Project on bee or pollinators is located in IRI, in Division of Entomology or near Division of Entomology. It is not a part of Division of Entomology at IRI. This work in last few years, this project on honeybee was converted to or was meant to include pollinators also, and there appears to be good amount of work done on this aspect. Another friend of mine, who is Dr. D.M. Firke at Directorate of Floriculture Research in Pune campus, is working on the honeybee or pollinators and relating them to the kind of the pollinizer fauna. Means how specific are the bees visiting to different flowers. This is the kind of work that they are doing. Some time back, the question was about mango pollination, and I understand, and I was just looking at the Google search, and I found out that the pollination in mango is primarily done by houseflies and seed-feed flies, and not the bees, dipteran insects, not the hymenopteran insects. So maybe there are difference of opinion in this place about the pollination in mango, but I wish to say that just check it and find out what is really, which one is a dominating insect pollinating in mango. I have one question which probably you may not answer now, but then see, Mr. Ravichandran was asking about pollination in polyhouses or glass houses, and a big problem using the apiaries having Apis mellifera or Apis Cerana indica is that they have a wide range of movement. They need around 4 or 5 kilometers to move around, and in a polyhouses, this is not possible for them. So we need to have a ability how the kind of the bees which are having a restricted movement in polyhouses. So one question is, can you have a Apis mellifera or Italian bee or European bee which will have a controlled bee population there? Okay. One more question that comes to my mind is that how can we domesticate Apis mellifera, small bees or dwarf bees, in and make it more available? the Apis mellifera domestication, if it is made possible, will be quite helpful for pollination too, as well as for producing honeys also. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think Amit already said stingless bees were successful in polyhouses. I think probably more studies need to be done.
Right. And Apis, regarding Apis mellifera, sir, Apis mellifera are already domesticated. Okay, inside the box. If you're talking about Apis Apis florea or Apis dorsata.
Florea.
Apis florea.
Apis florea.
Apis florea. Apis florea you can't keep inside a box because they are wild bees. They require sunlight to make the hive. They only make one hive. Okay, and they have migratory in nature. So for 4 to 5 or 6 to 7, 4 to 5, 6 months, they would be at the same place. After that, they will leave that place. So I will tell you about how bees work for their hive conservation itself. Okay, like if you can see stingless bees and Apis mellifera bees. Okay, these two bees produce. If you know about propolis. Okay, so only these two species make propolis. So what they do, if there is a fungal infection, okay, they mummify that fungal infection with the help of propolis. So that is why they have less nature to leave the box or leave that hive. Okay, but other three species like Apis dorsata, Apis florea, and Indian box bee or Apis indica, Sedana indica. Okay, they have tendency of leaving the box. Okay, or leaving that hive because they don't produce propolis. So if there is some fungal infection is there, so what they do, they leave the hive as it is and they make a new hive so that fungal infection won't come along with them. So this is the defense mechanism. So all species have different mechanism. That is why you can't hive Apis Apis florea bee.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think obviously there are these two lectures have raised clearly an area that we need to work on. And I think what I suggest that Aparna, we should try and put this all into a small booklet and where these questions are raised and we share it with the authorities so that they can at least see the kind of discussion that we have had. And because I personally know that I have not seen any quantified data showing that these many things will be used in onion or this one and you will get this much of yield. And on the preference between mango and onion, I feel that the need is to have hives within the onion fields to probably increase the level of pollination. Isn't that, Amit, possible? Because then maybe there is enough for both mangoes and onion. But anyway, these are things need to be studied. I will start by concluding. Here are two sparkling hearts for the two speakers today. You have enhanced our information and given us some very nice the waggle dance video from Rajshekhar ji was very interesting. And Amit, you told us about how your job is helping conserve and also moving the bees to the better areas and helping the society. Thank you very much for that. And I think I conclude by thanking everybody who has stayed till the end. We had almost like 88, 89 people attending, and now because time has taken us, we have taken more time. But thank you very much for these two very illuminating talks. And I think this opens up actually areas of research for future. Thank you all for attending, and I think we'll conclude with that. Aparna, you want to say anything? We can conclude.
No, sir. Thank you very much. Everybody for joining the session.
Thank you all for making this lively discussion.
Yeah. See you all again next week with some another topic. Thank you very much. Have a very good evening to all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello.